certainly there's two ways to grow in this business, right? Is one is through the drill bit. With success there, you can grow your ounces, and the other is through mergers and acquisitions. And when you look at the combined company, we went from 168 million ounces of silver equivalent to 240 million ounces silver equivalent in that third of 330 350 gram per ton silver equivalent, so good grade. So it's really all about scale. And when we met up with the Suma Silver folks, we had a shared vision to grow.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Gary Thompson. He is the CEO of Silver 47 Exploration Corp. And Gary, it's good to see you. How are you?
Hey, Steve, doing well. Good to see you as well.
Yeah, so we should get to the news of the day because it is significant that your company and Suma Silver are merging to create a new company. So before we get into sort of what's going to happen next, maybe let's take a step back and tell everyone about Silver 47 and really what led up to this.
Sure. Well, Silver 47, relatively new public company. We had our debut in November 2024. So it's been just about 6 months as a listed company on the TSX Venture. AGA is the ticker. And yeah, we're basically set out to build a dynamic and rapidly growing silver company focused in really the Americas and for the most part, the US.
And so Suma Silver came on the radar. Tell me about the decision to merge with them.
Yeah, so we're looking to grow. We've got a pretty aggressive strategy to grow ounces in the ground as quickly as we can. And really the mission is to get bigger faster. And so we've been looking at opportunities to grow. And we were successful in acquiring the Red Mountain asset in Alaska, which has been our flagship. It has 168 million ounces silver equivalent. And while that's significant and we think we can grow that, and you can certainly, there's two ways to grow in this business, right? One is through the drill bit. With success there, you can grow your ounces, and the other is through mergers and acquisitions. And when you look at the combined company, we went from 168 million ounces of silver equivalent to 240 million ounces silver equivalent in that third of 330 350 gram per ton silver equivalent, so good grade. So it's really all about scale. And when we met up with the Suma Silver folks, we had a shared vision to grow faster, and I think the combination made sense. We're both small teams, and I think combined now we're just a little bit better, more again more focused, US focused silver company. And on a combined basis, it took us, we have a VMS project in Alaska, which is quite significant and fairly advanced stage. But what's interesting about the combination is that now it helps our seasonality issue because working in Alaska, it's great in the summer, but in the winter months it's a challenge. So we can shift gears and move into South US to do that work. But yeah, it's really just a combination of assets and people to create a bigger company.
I know that in the news release you described this as a transformational step forward for the company. I know you're also going to have brought in a couple of companies, Research Capital Corp and Haywood, to do a capital raise. So tell me where that money is going to go. What's sort of the strategic things you want to do over the next 6 months?
Yeah, so the main focus is going to be Red Mountain. We're actually gearing up for drilling in Alaska, and we have good visibility on growing that resource. So the strategy is to build out the resource to a point where we think we have enough material in indicated or inferred category that would support a PEA stage study. So we think we're close to that. We think with a good season of success drilling at Red Mountain. So the funds are really focused on driving that story forward and advancing it to development. So we see that as a reasonably short period of time to get a project into the PEA stage, which you obviously would move that into a development scenario. So that's the plan, is to accelerate the Red Mountain, and that'll take us to the end of the year, early into next year for those studies, and perhaps a new 43-101 report, etc. And then we'll be shifting gears into either New Mexico or Nevada. So SUMA has two attractive high-grade silver projects in New Mexico called Mogollon, and in Nevada called Hughes in the Tonopah area. So that'll be the fall winter program that will carry us through well into next year.
Well, it sounds like exciting times ahead. I know there's some work to do before this is all finalized, but Gary, congratulations on this. Very exciting for you and the team, and we look forward to following the story. Okay.
Very good. Well, thanks a lot, Steve. Appreciate it.
All right. There's Gary Thompson, the CEO of Silver 47 Exploration Corp.